Hey everyone, welcome to episode number 79 of the Reseller Stew. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have Trish back for another week. She didn't leave us. She didn't go, oh my God, I can't. And of course, Miss Tonya.
Hey everybody.
April almost was going to make it. And then she's like, I can't. Made it back. So yeah, that would have been nice. I miss her crazy sales.
Yeah, she has sales.
Obviously, I miss her as a person, but I also miss her crazy sales.
Right.
But yeah, so how did everybody's week go? How was it? Everything going good?
Yeah.
I know you had rain. Trish, you had rain. You had rain, Tonya.
We had rain, yeah.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of rain, so.
But that didn't cut out your estate selling, right, Trish?
Heck no. Okay, I don't know why I'm not going big. Am I supposed to go big? No, the first day of estate sales was horrible. I bought nothing. And then the second day was not bad.
If you're not following Trish on Instagram, I'll go ahead and post her at link over in the chat. She has some of the most funniest stories. I talked about it last week, but if you want to follow like her estate sale finds as they're happening, she's really good about posting them, and they're really fun to watch. Because if y'all know me, I don't like garage selling. I don't care for garage selling, but something about Trish's estate sale finds, like, maybe I goes to some estate sales.
Addiction.
Right.
I know. But I'm going to go ahead and post it over. It's at Honey's Place over on Instagram, and that's Honey, Hunny, because I know I had people asking me after last show. They're like, we can't find her. And I'm like, oh, I'm Honey wrong.
Right. I always forget to watch the Instagram stories. It's still so new to me, you know?
They're like my favorite things. Like,
I didn't even post one today.
I know. You better go post something when we're done.
I know.
Yeah, I like to watch them. I think people are more personable in their stories, and I really like it. And it's almost like a highlight reel, you know?
Yeah.
It's like watching the news, watching the sports highlight reel. It's like people's little news of the day, you know, like.
Yeah, and I've noticed like some people. Am I echoing?
I don't know if you're echoing. It's because of me, because I don't have any headphones on.
I've noticed that some people can like leave a permanent story. How do you do that? Like it's like always there.
You can put it into your Instagram highlights.
Okay.
And so you have to actually like click it and put it into your highlights, I believe. I'm no Instagram expert.
Yeah, I noticed some of the people that I follow do that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Tonya, you've been on like where you're just trying to get rid of your stored inventory piles. I'm not going to call them death piles anymore. They're just stored
money on the floor.
Count piles. So you haven't been doing much shopping, right?
Well, I mean, I'm still getting out there. I'm just kind of sourcing for the smalls, like books and jewelry. I did pick up a pair of earrings, though. Are we going to show our stuff now?
Oh, if you want to, yeah.
Okay, so check these out. They're Monet earrings, and they're like little candle. Yeah, and I just noticed the back says Mona Lisa. So I'm wondering if that wasn't like the name of the earring. Anyway, they're yellow, so they were 75% off. So I got them for like $1.50 yesterday. So I'm going to get these listed. And I saw a similar pair sold for about $20, which is good since it looks like they retailed for $22 originally. But I just thought they were really neat looking. Oh my gosh, they almost look. I thought they were red, but holding up against the light here, they look purple.
Oh, I thought they were purple, but they are red.
Yeah. No, they look purple. The back looks purple.
I can't tell. You know, that's one of those ones I would put next to a color wheel or something and shine a light through them, because that's going to be somebody going, these are red. No, these are purple. No, these are mahogany. No, they definitely were purple, and they're really.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. Yeah, but that's really all I have to show this week.
I had my dad call me after the show last week, and he was like, oh, I'm here at Texas Thrift Store, which Texas Thrift Store is the thrift store I almost died in. That's the one that the tractor trailer truck rammed through the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Me and my friend Fallon, who actually lives in Houston now. You should probably hook up with her, Tonya. She's a really nice person. I miss her a lot. We were there thrifting, and this tractor trailer truck, the driver had a heart attack coming around the loop, and he was going like 35, 40 miles an hour, and he ran into the building.
Oh my gosh, I've never heard you tell that story.
And
wow.
literally standing right there for like half an hour because she was going through all the clothes in that little area. And then she goes, "Oh, I left my phone in the car. Here, can you watch Thane?" That's her son, Thane. She goes, "Can you watch Thane? I'm going to go get my phone." So me, not wanting to be in the clothes, I go all the way over to the hard goods section. And right after that, it goes, boom. And we thought it was like, you know, when you close warehouse stores.
Wow.
You know, where they close them and they just close them too hard and they go boom.
Yeah.
No, it was a tractor trailer truck. And I was so upset because I had so much good stuff in my cart. And like the people were coming there like, okay, you got to go. Everybody's got to get out. And this was literally probably another 5 or 10 minutes after the noise. That they were like, okay, everybody's got to leave. And I'm like, I really want all this stuff in my cart. I actually walked out of the store with like I had a bag on my arm and it was a laurel birch, like big laurel oak. So I walked out with that for free. I didn't do it on purpose. Like we all got outside. And we're like, oh, what happened? They're like a tractor trailer truck and blah, blah, blah. And then I had this on my, you know, so it went home with me.
100% profit.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, my dad called me while he was there. He goes, "Oh, I'm here at Texas Thrift and there's our Cabbage Patch dolls worth anything?" And I was like, no, not really. But then, you know, me is being like, well, I don't want to answer a question then answer it all wrong, you know? So I start researching and I posted it over in the chat in the group. I came up with that there are Cabbage Patch dolls worth money that are really easy to identify. And some of you guys that are familiar with Cabbage Patches are going to be like, yo, duh, Deborah, duh, you know, but I didn't know. So I'm going to share it with you because I didn't know and nobody I talked to about it knew. So let's look them up because I want to show you because they're really easy to identify. And then I also have a little story to go along with it. It's story time on the Sue today. You girls get your stories together. I didn't let you know. But let me bring up the search I had on the, and this is what I normally do if I'm trying to find out what's valuable or not really quickly, is I'll just go ahead and sort them high to low. And just be like, okay, done. Let's see. What I do with it? I lost it. Hang on. Sorry. Don't mean to pause the show while I randomly start trying to find things that I didn't think of finding before. Okay, here we go. All right, let me share. Okay, so these are the soft face cabbage. Okay, so I didn't know anything about, and also the African American Cabbage Patches seem to do fairly well as well. I noticed this keyword, which is popcorn, pops up on a lot of the ones that are worth more than $100. And I'm talking about used, not like new in the box. So these are ones that you can kind of find. I don't know why it's called popcorn, but if you'll notice let me find one. I could probably just search, or I can just bring up that one doll. Hang on. It's really, and they'll have red hair, blonde hair, you know, the dark hair. It's all the different colors of hair, but it has this, you see that where it almost looks like I said it looked like I was trying to tell my dad, I said it looks like a rug.
Looks like a
bathroom. Yeah, like it's like cut in a way that it makes these really interesting looking curls. And there's red. I told him the one that I saw the most was redheaded. Cabbage Patch popcorn. I spelled popcorn wrong. Okay, here's one that's blonde. But you see how those curls are?
Yeah.
Okay, so those would be really easy to identify, correct? Like, Totally looks different than the regular Cabbage Patch hair. So I noticed those. I saw that trend with the popcorn. And then the other trend that I saw on the Cabbage Patch dolls that were worth things were the soft face dolls that I had always assumed were handmade. Because my mom had made my doll when I was a kid. And they sold patterns for them. So it would be like hard for me to identify but if you look how much they are. These soft-faced ones.
That is crazy.
That is crazy.
And I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that's like a super expert or somebody that watches the show afterwards. It's going to be like, oh, yeah. Like, and is going to tell us all about it. But my mom made me a doll that looked just like this, only it had pigtails and like dark brown hair. It had the belly button and everything. It just didn't have the Xavier. So these are all signed. So these are going to be from before they became commercialized, I believe, in 83.
So if it was before 1983, they'll be signed Xavier?
Well, they're all kind of signed Xavier, but I think these ones are actually signed. Like, they all have that little printed thing. I'll show you on the doll that I have.
Yeah, because I've seen that on Cabbage Patch dolls before.
Yeah, they're all signed, like printed signed. Oh, this one's from 2003. This one was a birthday edition. But I thought this was really interesting, just, you know, to run across it, because I thought this would be so easy to identify.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There were 3 Cabbage Patch dolls the day after you said that. There were 3 in the boxes at an estate sale, but they wanted so much money, and I could not figure out what popcorn meant.
People overvalue them for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, they were crazy with their prices.
They think just because they've had them up in a closet since 1983 that they're worth $500.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, here's the doll my dad thought I meant by popcorn. And let me get back to the screen. There's actually 2 of these. They're twins. I did find out that they were twins. And they're not in good condition. I told my dad, I said, just go ahead and buy them. You never know. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's like, it was $6. It was going to total like $25. I was just buy them. I know I can sell them for the money that you paid for them. You know, it's not like I'm going to lose any money on them. And so he thought I meant like this little tuft stuff. And that's all the Cabbage Patches have that. So, you know, he was like, oh, I think this is what you're talking about. And he's not savvy on the phone, so I couldn't like send him a picture or anything.
Okay, you're going to have to explain the difference, but they look the same to me.
Well, it's the way, and if you look in the chat,
in the Stu Facebook page?
No, if you look over here in our, hang on, got junk in our trunk, who always seems to know everything.
Rhonda. She is pretty smart.
Right? It's like, I need to find out some information. Oh, let me just contact got junk on my trunk. This is the popcorn is the way that the hair is made, and that they did make an anniversary doll at 15 years that was soft face and had popcorn hair as well. So that's probably the one that we saw that was sold for $300. But the original ones were the ones that I was showing you. But go ahead and look at eBay and just look. You know, you just never know. But anyway, Tracy goes, yes, Rhonda knows everything. Okay, so anyway, so we got these dolls. I looked them up. I can probably sell the twins for like $20, $25. I was going to put them on Mercari. I like listing things on Mercari that I wouldn't normally list on eBay, just because the buyers that buy on Mercari, because of their return policy, know exactly what they're buying when they buy it.
Right.
Oh.
You know, there's no like, oh, I thought and I didn't see and I didn't. No, you bought it. Unless it's just blatantly not the right thing or it's in totally crap condition, you're going to be fine. So anyway, he also bought this doll, which my grandmother bought me a Cabbage Patch doll when I was really little, probably 4 years old, because I was born in 80. And so, and his name was Joseph, and he had brown hair like this. And I couldn't find the Joseph doll that I had when I was a kid on eBay. Well, I was taking pictures the other day, and in this puzzle, this little boy is I recognized the shoes right away and the red hat. This is Joseph. This is the dog I had when I was little. So anyway, that's my story. That's into story time.
I was too cool for Cabbage Patch dolls because I wasn't born in 80. I was born before that.
Yeah.
So, you're kind of like a tween. You're like over dolls. And at least I don't think I had one.
No, we didn't. I grew up with Chrissy doll. The one that you pulled her hair out at the top of her head.
Okay, well, I grew up with Holly Hobby and Strawberry Shortcake.
I have a strawberry shortcake puzzle here too. Look.
I love Strawberry Shortcake.
Yeah, me too.
I was gonna list those on Mercari as well. I didn't really do any shopping. I did ooh, that's way underpriced. What's wrong with this person? Anyway, sorry. But we did stop over at the Restore and to look at bathtubs, because that's a really good place to get bathtubs, is the Habitat for Humanity's Restore.
Mm.
And let me bring up Amazon real quick. I happened to find, and I've talked about this a couple times, and it's not really the season for them anymore, but there's let me go ahead and sure. It definitely brings more money during the summer, but I found a frappe machine. Dun, 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 dun. And I always look up for these, and when I find them, I'm so happy. And I found one for $8 at the Restore. The last one I sold for $129, which seems it still seems to be the going rate. These are all used. These are not new units. Oh. What I do on Amazon is I will say it comes with a printed manual, and that normally gets me a better price than other people, just because people want the manual, even though you can clearly look it up online. I go ahead and print it out and put it in the box, and that's it. So yeah, I always keep an eye out for these. If you don't know about the frappe machine or the cafe latte, you need to get on those. Oh, look, there aren't any even. Oh, here we go. I was like, there's not even any on Amazon right now. Used on this baby. And you can find these on your Facebook Marketplace. You could probably go look right now and go buy them. They normally on Facebook Marketplace, hello phone. Oh wow, we have so many toll-free numbers now. They've gotten to the 833s. Holy cow. Anyway, you can normally find them on your marketplace for about $50, the latte machines. But look at them, $300 used.
It was insane.
Yeah. And that's the going rate. Like, look at Keepa. There's one for $150. Now, this was during the summer. There's always going to be a downturn during the summer on price. So you can see they were at like $170, $160. And then as it starts getting warmer, the prices are always going to go up because people are going to be looking at those hot drinks. That's why the frappe machine's price goes down. The latte machine price goes up.
Okay, so I'm looking right now on my Facebook, and I see a Mr. Coffee. Can you see this? Mr. Coffee.
That's it. Go buy it.
$32.
Go buy it right now. Bye, Trish. See you later.
Bye, Felicia.
I have done that before with my friends, that I've been like wasting my time when I should be working. And I'm like, oh, let me search Houston and see. Let me search, this in Chicago and see. And I'll be just like, go buy this. Go buy this. It's too far away. There's too much traffic. And I'm like, it's a $150 machine. Like,
oh my gosh. Okay. Here's a cocoa latte. You sell those, don't you? Cocoa lattes?
No, Cocoa Motions. Cocoa lattes, a lot of them were recalled. They had lead in the pitcher.
Wow.
The pitcher thing that hooks the thing. You know what I'm talking about.
The thingy. The thingy.
The thingy, my Bob.
The thing. Yeah. Hang on a sec. We got a question. When you sell parts, is it better to sell them as a single listing or multi-item available or multi? It depends on the part. I do variation listings and I just update them. It makes it so much easier because if somebody's looking for one part, they'll find that listing and then they'll also find all of the other parts that you have for that machine. Mother's Mustache says, I don't know who the new panel member is. It's Trish. And if you go watch last week's episode, we did an intro for Trish. So, yay!
What?
Did you have things to show that you found?
I have a couple. I got a lot of clothes last week, which is not. I'm trying to get through listing those right now, and then I'll reward myself with listing other stuff. Can you see? Okay, I have to put my glasses back on. Can you see this? It's a cat.
Oh, that's weird.
Isn't it cool?
Oh, that is cool. I love it.
It's
That's
completely
totally
flat.
yeah.
Yeah, it's flat. So it has no name on it or anything. So I'm going to have to use some really interesting keywords. And I think I'm going to call it a pancake cat and make it a thing. Like people will be like, oh, I don't have a pancake cat. So
what's that for? Like, would it be like a mantle, like almost like a shelf sitter, but it doesn't?
Yeah, it's a shelf sitter. It's completely flat. It's got like little built-in nubbies so it doesn't like hurt your mantle, but it's so cool.
Is it a Siamese cat?
It's a Siamese cat, little blue-eyed Siamese cat.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, and it's got a little bit of crazing in it, which I love crazing. And then I got this guy, and I have sold him before. He is called Lamut. Lamut. I don't know if you can you see that okay? Lamut. And I found him actually where they were asking crazy money for those Cabbage Patch dolls.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted $450 for him, and I've sold him before for $65.
Oh, wow.
And he's just a little raggedy old dog.
What's the name of that cartoon? I'm drawing a blank right now.
No idea.
All right, I'm going to have to look it up.
So he's got yellow eyes, and there's really nothing to him. The first time I sold him, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this back because he just has this floppity little head, you know. And no, they loved it. So apparently that's the way it's supposed to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So other than that, a lot of clothes.
You know me, I love the plushes.
I know.
I
you
love
got me into it.
Yes.
Tonya, you have any good sales to show us?
Okay, I do. Okay, so let me screen share. You've probably already.
I hope Yvon can come next week because Yvon had some amazing sales last week that I really wanted her to talk about.
Oh, man.
Okay, so this was my big sale, you guys.
Yeah!
Wow.
Yeah, and so the thing about this is I found this actually in a jewelry jar. I think I maybe paid $30 for the jar. So this was in there, and it was signed. Let me see if there's a picture.
That's an awesome looking piece.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Right here, M. Morgan. And of course, I had listed it high. I had done a little bit of research on WorthPoint and whatnot. And like I said, I've had it since May, and I didn't want to sit on it. So I thought this was a really good, strong offer. And I posted it in the Thrifty Treasures Jewelry group and got everyone's opinion. And everyone was like, take the money, take the money. So I accepted the offer. So I was really excited about that. I sent it off this morning. And then this one I picked up for $5 in estate sale. And it's a vintage Lescolona black wicker purse. And it sold for $32. Finally, I had a whole bunch of people that liked it, like 30 people.
Wow.
Stop liking my things. Buy my things.
Right? And this one just sold last night. This is a vintage Napier amber lucite beaded statement necklace. And I priced this high because I had seen one. Whenever I bought it, I did research and I saw that a similar one sold for the same price. So really pretty, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
That's nice. I wish I knew about jewelry. I'll just end up with 1,000 pieces of garbage and nothing to show for it. Hang on. You're back.
This one is interesting. This is my last one. This one sold for $20, but I know I didn't pay more than probably $2 for this piece. It's a vintage Trifari brooch, and leaves are definitely in for fall. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a really good sale for such a small little brooch, right?
Yeah.
So $20.
That's when your keywords come in.
It always amazes me how good those brooches and those pins sell because I don't know a single person who wears them.
Yeah.
But they always sell.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with them. Maybe they're crafting.
They're fun to wear. Like, definitely you can craft with them. I'll be wearing some on my jackets this winter for sure. I've even seen men wearing them. Like, what was I watching? Oh, I know what I was watching. Bravo, of course. And it was, what are those people called? What are their names? The Shaws, Sunset or whatever.
Oh, the Shaws of Sunset.
Yeah, it's so much fun to watch that show. So, what's his name? The gay guy. He's so funny. I can't think of his name right now. But he had on a blue jean jacket a couple episodes ago, and he had a brooch on. I actually took a picture of it. I was going to post it in the jewelry group. I'll have to do that. So I actually took a picture of my TV with him wearing the brooch, and I was like, even guys wear them.
So they said in the Rhonda said in the chat that young girls are starting to wear brooches in collections on like denim jackets.
Yes, definitely. And
great.
Actually, Thrifty Toya was talking this morning that the Heathers, the movie, the Heathers with like Winona Ryder and Shannon Doherty.
Yeah, like from the 90s, right?
Okay. Well, no, what was it? No, it was from the late 80s.
80s.
Yeah, they came out with a musical. And now the girls are wanting to get the costumes. You know what they were wearing? Those little plaid skirts, the big blazers with the things, and they had all the stuff on them, embellishments and stuff. The costumes are selling for $80.
Wow. Yeah, Madeline has a little blue jean jacket, and we've got some cute little gold tone animals, like a little fox and a little dog on her jacket. And I've seen been at the bakery at that place, Nothing Bundt Cakes, that one that I really love. And they wear aprons, and I've seen a lady wear brooches on her apron. So
it's like flair.
Flair, yeah. It's like apron jewelry.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I have your sales up here. Hang on, Miss Trish. Where are they? Nope, that's mine. That's yours. Okay. And there you go. There's your stuff.
Okay. So this is a Starbucks mug that I bought. I bought a bunch of Starbucks mugs, like a big printer paper box, like that has all the reams of paper in it. I bought 2 layers of Starbucks mugs for $40 one day. And they've been selling kind of consistently. And so this one just sold for $29.99. And it's just a recycled glass mug.
I think you bought those when I first started following you.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's like, oh my goodness, look at these mugs.
I'm so excited. I've sold about probably 6 of them, maybe. So I've made my money back. Now when they sell, it's just like pennies from heaven.
So awesome. All right, next one.
Okay, this one I bought at a church sale a couple weekends ago, and I put it on auction, and winning bid was $38. So I paid $5 for it.
And this doesn't even have the makeup in it. This is just the unit.
It was just the unit, and I wasn't sure how good it would sell without the makeup, so that's why I put it on auction. It was a popular enough item that I knew it would have use. So
the commercials are very they're very tempting.
They are.
A commercial for them, and you're just like, I'm gonna be beautiful if I buy this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In all the lines and make me perfect.
But the makeup is hundreds of dollars. So they give you a little to start with, but the first time you ever use it, you're going to make yourself look like a clown. So, and then you're going to run out of makeup and you're going to have to buy it. And that's where they get their money.
Like drug dealers.
Yep.
They get you hooked and then you have to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awful. Bad $1 billion makeup industry. To the cats.
Yes, this little guy I got at an estate sale for $4.50. And that I took this, I think I sold it for $45. This lady messaged me and she said, my daughter lost hers. Would you, because I didn't have best offer on it. She said, would you mind taking $45 for it? I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh my gosh, it sold for $50. What'd you buy it for?
$4.50 at an estate sale. And he's a little one. He's like about that big.
I'm so I'm so jelly. I've never found a jelly cat. Like Deb is always talking about him. She even found some here in Houston.
Yeah.
Well, that's what every time I look at plushes, I'm like Jellycat because of Deb. And I've bought and sold, I don't know, 3, 4 of them. And I don't pick them all up. They're like other ones. They're just not created equal.
No, they're
Yeah, this little guy, I picked him up because when I was looking at the Jellycat rabbits, I didn't see very many like him. And
it's
so
always a good sign. I know some people, and I've said this many times, I know some people will be like, oh, I can't find a comp, and so they just leave it. And I'm like, it's such a small investment. I mean, it's worth the gamble.
Exactly.
And not worth the good money. I mean, come on, you're gonna get your $4 back, you know?
Exactly.
Like, so
yeah.
And then I remember this when you bought these.
Okay, so I went to a yard sale. I work on Fridays, and I went to a yard sale down the street, and I found 3 pieces of fabric, and this was one of them. And she was charging $2 for each piece of fabric. So I bought this for $2, and it sold within a couple days for a best offer of $100. But this is Alexander Henry, and so that's one to look for. There again, this is something that's not all created equal. It's going to be the subject matter that sells it. So
that's good to know. I see fabric all the time. So Alexander Henry, and all 3 pieces that I bought were Alexander Henry, and one of them sold like within an hour.
And you can see here that not all, like you said, not all are created equal, because here's Alexander Henry, and then it's like, oh, $5, $12. Oh, look at the Ouija board one with the skeletons.
That's awesome. I'm surprised that didn't sell for more.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool.
I think, that's cuckoos. That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. You have awesome sales. I like your stuff.
They're fun. I like my stuff.
Need to check the chat real quick, and then I'll show off my junk. I wanted y'all to show off all your fabulousness, and then I was going to come around with my crap. So if you like thirsty or anything, now would be a really good time to like go get a drink or, a snack, because I have nothing fabulous going on in my pile over here of my tools.
If it's sold, it's fabulous.
Right? I just make that shirt. Just if it's sold, it's fabulous regardless.
Right. So I just recently picked up some Hawaiian fabric. I'll have to go look at the name on it here in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Show it off.
Let's see. Okay, here's my silliness. All right. I picked this up for $1.99 when Tonya was here in Austin for the Green Room meetup. And it's an egg cuber, and it makes cubed eggs. I don't know who's going to individually make these cubed eggs.
So cool.
But while they're still hot, you put them in the thing, and then you chill them, and it makes cubed eggs. I think I couldn't not buy it because it was just the weirdest thing. And I couldn't figure out how to keyword it that somebody was going to buy it for a reasonable amount of money. So I put game night and creative food maker and party, because I thought maybe, if you were having a poker night, you could have dice shaped eggs, or you know what I mean? If you're
deviled eggs, square deviled eggs.
Night.
A lot of people too. Well, my daughter does it all the time. They do egg porn. It's like a big thing on Instagram stories and stuff, where they make their eggs and then they take their little fork and they pat it down and they pop it like a pimple.
Yeah.
Egg porn is a good keyword too for something like that.
Egg porn?
I've never heard of this.
I'm going to get my listing revoked because I put egg porn in. All right, I sold another package of these diapers. Yay!
Awesome.
These went off to France, so they paid $69, I believe, $67 for them.
Wow.
Shipping. So they went off to France. I still have quite a maybe 10. I know it says 7, but I don't put them all there. Because I don't want people to think I have a whole bunch. Because I think I started out with 25 packages or 22. I know it was a $60 investment, so I think I had $3.20 because they were $3 a piece.
Wow. Where did you get those?
Savers for $2.99 each. And I have sold them anywhere from $29.95 to $49.95, depending on.
That is awesome.
Right now, I just have them priced by it now as $39.95, and and that's it. And that's your sell. And then I sold a couple little thingies on. I sold this Houston Starbucks mug. And
Mercari?
Yeah, on Mercari. I actually should have just taken. This is what you get. This is the story. Like, this is what you get whenever you hold out for more money. Sometimes I had this listed for like $29 to begin with, I believe, and then I kept dropping the price. Like on Mercari, you can drop your price for likers, and it'll drop it like 5%. So it normally comes out to like $1. And you see I had 12 likers on it, so I kept dropping the price. Well, I got down to like 27, and this guy offered me like 23 or 22, and I was like, nah, I'm just gonna wait. Well, then nobody bought it, and I kept like, okay, somebody needs to buy this. And I definitely drop my price more on Mercari than I do on eBay because I like it that it sends out specifically to the likers, and it's like, hey, it's
so easy.
Anybody can get the price, but the likers get a message that's like, hey, the price has dropped, So anyway, it sold for $18. I think it was just like over the weekend. I mean, it might have been on Friday. I didn't have it listed for a whole long time. You can see I listed it on the 28th of June. So just over like a month and a half.
Yeah, I was thinking about listing some on my Starbucks mugs on Mercari too, because they seem to be something that sell really good over there.
Oh yeah, mugs do really well over on Mercari, and so does plush, and so do shoes, and so do a lot of things. And I like listing over there. I just think it's faster. It's just so much easier. Like I listed this silly thing my daughter got from her subscription box. She has a Japanese subscription box, and so from Japan every month she gets the stuff. And so I went ahead and listed the things that she didn't want. And the box is $25 a month, and this was only one of the items out of the box. And it was less than 8 pounds to ship it in a box. I mean, less than 8 ounces to ship it in a box. So I profited out of it like, what, $9 and something?
Yeah.
On something that was just going to sit here and not be used. If you aren't selling on Mercari, sell on Mercari. It's so easy. Like, look at this listing format. This is it. This is all you have to do.
Yeah, it's so fast. This morning, I actually because I hadn't been using Mercari for a while. And this morning, I just started, that's why I didn't post a story today. I started cross-posting to Mercari, and I've already got tons of likes and tons of activity, and I just got an offer, and I have people asking questions. I have more activity on there for like the 6 or 8 items that I posted than I've gotten on eBay in 2 days.
Yeah, it's very satisfying because you'll post something and then it'll be like later on in the day and it's like, oh, 6 people like your item and, only like 10 have looked at it. And you're like, oh, yay. Because you post something on eBay and you're like, 3 weeks have passed and 8 people looked at it, 4 of them were bots. I don't know. It just, I like that you can see who liked your stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I like it. I like the format a lot. So I've been actually listing more on there and then cross-posting over to eBay as opposed to posting on eBay first and then cross-posting to Mercari. Kathleen's asking, do you use the hashtags on Mercari? Nah, not really, unless there's something that, unless it didn't fit a keyword in there I was looking for.
I do. Like when I list jewelry, of course, I'll say hashtag jewelry, hashtag earrings, hashtag whatever brand it is.
Yeah. I just stick words in there if I was like wanted to put them in the title. That's the only thing I don't like. The titles are so short.
Short.
But I think it's just because we're used to eBay where we have to repeat everything over and over again. But you don't have to put the brand in the title, and you don't have to put the category in the title. So if it's a mug cup, you don't have to put mug cup in the title like you do on eBay, where it goes in coffee cups. So you have to put mug,
One thing I noticed this morning when I was cross-posting, and so I'm going to start doing this in my eBay listings because of it, is so when you I did it on my phone. And so when you're cross-posting, you have to, if you get your pictures and you upload those, And then you have to go back and copy your title and stick it in there. And then you have to go back and copy your description and stick it in there so you don't have to redo it. Yeah. So I'm going to start, I stopped doing this because people said don't do it, but I'm going to start putting my title, my eBay title, down as the first line in my eBay description so that I don't have to go back and forth twice. It'll all be there, and then I can just copy, you know, that.
That's first what I do.
Yeah, it's going to make it much faster.
Yeah.
Let me get the name. She was on Instagram today, was just talking about how she cross posts from eBay to Mercari and Poshmark, and her process was really, really simple. If you go look at the story for Bella's Bodega's Thrift, and I'll put it over in the side chat, over in the, she did a real simple method of how she cross posts on her desktop, not on her phone, but on her computer. And it was really easy. So I'll put her Instagram over in the chat so you can see and go take a look at it. It'll be there until tomorrow because she just posted it 4 hours ago. So
awesome.
But it was really handy. I never thought about doing it this way. And she was watching a movie at the same time on her screen. She's got it down. Like, this was the method. I watched it and I was like, this is it. This is the way to do it. So I'll post it over there. Let's see. Bella's Bodega Thrift _.
We have some questions in the chat. Mother's Mustache is asking, how do we get paid on Mercari? Meaning, do they hold your money? So it's kind of like Poshmark. You just wait till the buyer receives the item, and then they rate you. And then, you know, what's different? You actually have to go and leave them feedback.
Or actually, I haven't had anybody rate me in a while. Like, they've just been holding the items and not rating me. So I thought it went away.
Well, they wouldn't release my funds this past week until I left them feedback.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my money showed up and you can just transfer it to your bank account.
Yeah. My last like 5 transactions, now I know why. Because I was like, oh, did they make the rating system go away? And it was because if they've received their item and they haven't rated it, after 3 days, they just give you your money.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. And so
Poshmark.
Yeah, that was why I didn't have to rate them. I forgot.
Okay. And then Adam has a question. Let's see what Adam says. He says, what items besides mugs and plush sell well on Mercari? And how do you cross post? So we talked about the cross posting. So the mugs and the plush, and what else? The shoes.
Shoes, clothing. I've been seeing a lot of people on Instagram have started listing on Mercari now, and they're listing the same things they're listing on Poshmark.
Right. And Adam, if there's something that you're specializing in, you can actually go and type it in and search the completed solds just like you do on eBay. So you can see what's actually selling. Actually, on the home page of Mercari, they actually have a section called like sold in the last 10 minutes. And you can look at that. And then there's an option to push a button and like see more of what's sold like within the hour probably. But you can also make it specific to whatever you're looking for also.
I saved a couple searches in there today too. So I don't know how that works, but there are some things that I look at to see if they pop up, I want to resell them on eBay.
Right. We know somebody else who saved some searches too.
Yeah, I have saved searches over there. I've actually, I didn't really get into Mercari. Adam says Bella's Bodega Thrift is a wife and a mother of 4, so she has to know how to do things efficiently.
Right, Adam?
I didn't get in. I ignored Mercari for years, and then I started actually looking at them to actually source from for eBay, because I kept seeing things pop up that I know I would buy, you know, even if I was paying up for it like 20 or 30 bucks. I knew I could resell it for 100 or 100, and it's coming to my house. Like, I didn't have to go anywhere for it, you know?
Yeah.
And so the first things I did on Mercari was actually just buying things. I was buying things to sell on eBay or Amazon. And then once they came out with their desktop version, like that you could do on your computer, because I don't like listing from my phone, but Mercari is actually really easy to do it from. So it's gotten me more into the habit of listing from my phone. Once they came out with the desktop version, then I was like, oh, I can need to list some more things over here. And now I actually prefer it.
Yeah. I like it too.
I likes it. I likes it a lot. I just think it's a lot easier. And even Maria, I had her post because I told her I was like, maybe because she's like, I need to make some money. And I was like, maybe you should set up a Mercari account. I was like, because it's so much easier to post on.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
set up her Mercari account, and then she posted some Build-A-Bear clothes. And she was like, oh my God, that was so much easier. Oh, Nora, thank you for the super chat. Nora's actually local here to me. I've been to her house before, and Maria's swimming her poo. So she's a friend of mine. I miss you. I was actually thinking about you yesterday. Anyway, okay, what else are we gonna talk about? Oh, you need to talk about your thing, Trish.
Yeah. You talking about my mix-up?
Your fail story? Yes.
Yeah. So 2 of those things that I showed that I sold, that Starbucks mug and the Luminous, I switched the labels. So I didn't even know it. Okay. So I'm not very efficient when I ship. But when I print out my labels, I have the little shipping detail below that tells you what it is. And I got sick of printing that because it wastes my ink. So my very first set of things that I stopped printing that, I mixed up the labels. So anyway,
what did we learn?
We learned that the childhood ADD is still there. And we're not going to do that again. So anyway, I didn't even realize it until I got a return request from the Luminous lady who said, I got a Starbucks mug. And I was like, oh my God, because both of those are over £1. So I immediately emailed the other guy, and he was like, yeah, he said, I got this. He said, it doesn't really work real well with my beard. So he was really nice. And I thanked him so much for being so sweet, but they're both going to come back. And so I'm going to lose those sales. I actually told him that when the Starbucks mug comes back, that I would sell it to him and give it to him free shipping. So, but the other lady, she hasn't said anything. So we'll see. So those sales will actually be lost, but I'm not worried about losing the sales because the Luminous will sell again just fine. So now,
I'm sorry.
plus, well, also I was thinking since I got it, since I sold it for $38 on auction, I'm probably going to list it for $45 unless she wants it, and just do a store instead of
the mug or the
auction.
luminescence.
The Luminous.
Oh,
the Luminous thing. Yeah. Because since it's sold on auction for $38 and there wasn't a bid war, I think I could probably get a little more for it.
okay. I was going to say, isn't there like a second chance offer? I know that eBay used to have that. Like if it didn't sell to the first person.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I do so few auctions. I'm first going to have to offer it to that lady, and then if she doesn't want it, then price going up. If you want it, you're going to have to pay more.
Right.
Yeah, my worst, I was telling Trish, I was like, oh no, I said my worst of the switching the labels was 2 international sales.
Oh my gosh.
That's awful.
But fortunately, they were to the same country. But it never fails, because she was saying, oh, I haven't heard from my one person, but the other one's really nice. And I'm like, it never fails, because I've switched labels a couple times over the years, probably, I don't know, about 3 times. And there's always one really nice, understanding buyer who's like, oh, it's okay. Everybody's human. No problem. And then the other one's like totally a jerk about it. You're like, oh, come on. Like, I made a human error. That's what I had to tell the one guy in England. I was like, I am a human. I made a human error. You'll get your coffee cup, sir. And I just had them ship them to each other. So I had to do really awkward things that I'd never done before, like buy labels on royalpost.com.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrifying.
Right.
England, and like send them to the other buyers and hope they sent the mugs, and they did eventually get their stuff. But I lost quite a bit of money on that transaction.
And hope that they packed it good, right? Especially if they're not used to packing stuff.
Oh yeah, because when people return things, they're just like, you can have it all packed in there in tissue paper and all this stuff. And when they put it back in, it's like, blah, blah, blah. You know, they're just throwing it in there.
Taped in a garbage bag and sent.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the only risk. Like when you're shipping something like that's breakable like that, if they took it out, because I know returns, you get them back and you're like, what'd you do to this? Like what you were, and it's not like they use the item, but it's like, gosh, did you kick it around, kick the box around and then put the stuff in the trash, take it back out and then put it in? Like, but yeah, we all do it.
That was a big old bummer.
And that's the sad part about when you're selling something that's like not a lot of, or if they got a good deal, because then they're really angry that they didn't get their good deal. Like,
yeah. And the makeup lady, I'm thinking, well, if she's doing airbrush, she's probably a perfectionist. So
yeah, right.
She will not tolerate my ineptness in this shipping.
No, if I ever do a label switch, how do you do yours? Because I normally, what I'll do is I'll go into eBay and I'll basically create a reverse label. Like I'll go back to their sale and I'll create a new label, and then I'll leave my return address, and then I'll like change the ship to address or vice versa if it's coming back to me, but that's different. But if it's going to the other person, and then you have to change the zip code that it's being shipped from yours. But that's what I do. But it's
okay. I'm drooling on that one because I totally didn't understand what you just said.
You can go into your orders. I don't know how to do this without
I don't think I've ever done it that way either.
Yeah, eBay shows too much stuff now. It used to just show the person's name and that didn't matter. Let me see. I can't do it. I can't demonstrate it without showing all my customers' name and address and stuff.
So you're talking about when they return the item?
No.
Okay.
When I'm gonna send them a label to send to the other person. Right?
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so I just go into the item and say create a new label, and so it still fills in like my return address, but then I change it to the other person's.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know how that would work. It's because the one person, she put in a return.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, so it was coming back. If I realized I had done it and I had the chance, I would have tried to see if they would ship them to each other. But
yeah, now I use ShipStation, so it's a lot easier to make labels over there.
I just use PayPal ship now.
Yeah, I like ShipStation. I got used to using ShipStation in January when I was shipping out all those merchant fulfilled stuff for Amazon. And Amazon, even though they did recently start doing a bulk shipping, like within the last year, it's really glitchy. Like I mean, if you have 50 orders going out and you go through and you click okay, this is first class, this is priority, this is flat rate, this is this. And then you'll get like a quarter of the way down through, and then the page will glitch out, and then you'll lose everything you just did, and it's super, super frustrating. So I switched over to ShipStation. At that point, it was like a lifesaver, and then I've just gotten used to it. You can void your labels up to 30 days instead of like 5, like it is on eBay. And it's easier to keep track of your orders, like your customers, because you can just like search their name, or search their item. And I've gotten used to it now, so I prefer it.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. I mean, PayPal's going to be changing anyway, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how that's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everybody is being really smart in learning new platforms right now, because if we learned anything over the years, it's that whenever there's a big changes in eBay, then we lose our sales.
Yeah.
I know some people don't, but a lot of people I know do. And they haven't changed their business structure. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, my sales are down 60%. So it's always a good idea leading up to some kind of big change to just make sure that you're prepared in knowing and being familiar with other platforms. maybe even learning to branch out into local sales, like how you do, Trish. Trish sells on the marketplace and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just to have backup. You always got to have a plan B and a plan C.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised at Mercari this morning how easy it was.
Oh, it's simple. And I really actually do enjoy just doing it because it for me, it seems like such not a hassle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like my pictures have to be perfection. Like I don't feel like, oh, my lighting's kind of off. And then I'm just like, click, 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 click. And then people buy it.
Right.
Yeah. And eBay's great. I mean, it's always going to be my first love, but I don't see that. I mean, they're making all these changes, and sometimes, we celebrate the changes because they're so refreshing when they actually work. But I don't find it being any more user friendly. No. I don't see the changes as advancement. It's almost like they're parallel. They're not really any changes that make it competitive with like Poshmark and Mercari and the ease of use for buyers or sellers.
Yeah, it's very true. They've complicated it in a way that is like, now that there's so many other options, it's just like, Mother's Mustache is asking about fees. It's a flat 10%. On Mercari, it's a flat 10% and free to list and 10% sold, and then you can pick if you want them to do a prepaid label. Their shipping is so simple.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just easy. They're also just go look at their FAQs. It's all there.
They show you, like on Poshmark does this too. They show you when you plug in how much you want for the item, they show you what your profit's going to be.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I do too. I like it a lot. So, and I think the barrier for me on eBay sometimes is that I feel like the process is so complicated, even in the photo taking process. And, I have to make sure all my keywords are just so perfect. And I've got to make sure that my description is just so perfect. And God forbid I miss a certain little thing, it's like, that it just seems so much easier to just be like, brown bear, 14 inches. And then you put the brand, and then you say you want $14 for it, and then you press click.
Yep.
Yeah. Etsy's a little complicated to me. It keeps me away. I've listed a couple things on there, but then I'm just like exhausted.
Etsy is like eBay. You don't have to fill out every single option. Like people get so wrapped up in all the different things they want you to fill out, and the truth is you don't have to fill all of that out
on Etsy.
Yeah,
or eBay.
That might be why I'm not having a lot of sales over there. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's just a bunch of things they want you to fill out, and I don't always do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if somebody's looking for something, aren't they going to find it by your title?
One would think.
Right.
I don't know. I think we're just going into maybe we're just, I don't know. Maybe we just don't want things overcomplicated.
Yeah, I feel like it's a huge time suck. And Mercari and Poshmark, like Deb said, it's so much more modern and faster. And it's a new way to do things. And but eBay especially needs to roll with the changes, right?
But it seems like every change they make just makes it more complicated.
Yeah.
But I also think it has a lot to do with that it's so much easier to start something new than it is to renovate. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier to start something from the ground up than it is to kind of piece apart it and then try to patch and fix and make it pretty, and then that's not quite right, and and kind of pat together this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, and it probably does.
For all we know, they might be working on it, right? So you never know.
Well, and I had a buyer message me. I can't remember. Something happened. Something glitchy happened to me. And so I had to explain it to the buyer. It was something happened with one of those glitches. And they wrote back and they said, it's the same for us. We, as buyers, they were getting glitches that were causing problems for them too.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah, who knows? But besides all that, I'm still glad all the platforms are there because I don't want to go get a regular job. So
heck yeah. I'll celebrate eBay all day long.
As long
Me
as I
too.
can sell stuffed animals somewhere and concerts, I'm good. Right. All right. Well, does anybody have anything else they'd like to talk about today before we go? We've actually been on for the whole hour. Look at us.
I do. Tomorrow we are going to be having an antique booth talk on Tammy's channel on YouTube. It's called Tam's Place. And so it's the Pudgy Picker and me and Tammy. And we're going to be talking about our antique booths. And that's tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Central.
Nice. Do you have the link you can post over in the chat? Or no?
Not yet, but
okay. All right then. Trish, anything exciting going on? You got 1,000 estate sales this week?
No? Only 2 so far, which means I actually have to list. So I actually have to work.
Whatever. I don't believe you. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming out and supporting us. And we will see you all again next time. Bye.
Bye.